3 ways to check if a girl is interested in you. Today I will teach you how to provoke signs of attraction from women. I know this happens quite often. You are talking to a girl, everything is going well, you feel a great connection, but at the same time, there is no certainty. You doubt whether you have correctly deciphered her body language and all those subtle signals she is sending you. In any case, now I will give you 3 different ways to make sure that yes, you interest her. But attention, even if you are 100% sure of her attraction, it doesn't mean that everything will go smoothly from here on out. The rest depends only on you. I'm only giving you the keys to feel more confident and understand what you are getting into. This will also help her calm down by ricochet. Some of the checks you will arrange, the girls may notice. Let's be honest, they are far from stupid. I remind you that women are the main specialists when it comes to hidden checks and obtaining information through indirect means. Therefore, some of the strategies I will advise today will not be something foreign to them. But that's not scary. There's nothing wrong with her being able to read between the lines. On the contrary, if she likes you, your desire to test the waters will only confirm that you're not indifferent to her either, and then it's up to her to openly accept this interest and play along with your test, or to pretend she didn't understand anything and steer the conversation in another direction. The fact that she sees right through you doesn't necessarily have to work against you. On the other hand, there are tests that work automatically. The girl won't even realize you're testing her. So the first strategy on how to test a girl and provoke her to show affection. It consists of simply casting a line and seeing if she bites. I always say, if a woman plays along with your light flirting, it means she's interested. The same principle applies here. If you give her a reason and she latches onto it, developing the topic, bingo, she likes you. How does this look in practice? She will laugh at your jokes, even if they are a bit silly. She will readily engage in conversation on slightly more risque or personal topics, for example, about relationships and seduction. Don't forget that women are just as fascinated by this topic as we are. If you talk about it, she will surely have something to say, and if she is willing to discuss such things specifically with you, it means she is comfortable in your company. Moreover, for her, this is an excellent opportunity to send you a veiled signal, so feel free to bring up these topics. Therefore, especially if you are discussing the topic of seduction, or for example, dating apps and websites, say, if you met there, know that she will definitely seize this opportunity. She uses it to send you her signal and to make it clear how she usually behaves, how often she goes on dates, who she talks to, and so on. In short, she won't miss the moment, so don't hesitate to cast your line. She'll definitely bite. On the other hand, if she doesn't react to your hints, there's, of course, a tiny possibility that she simply didn't understand them. But it's hard to believe. Either you were too subtle, but if she's not receptive, if she doesn't use the opportunity to tell you anything, whether positive or negative, to reject you, know that this is a pretty bad sign. Most likely she's just hesitant to reject you directly. The point is that a woman will always find a way to show whether she likes you or not. Since she won't say it directly and bluntly anyway, she will use every opportunity to make you understand everything indirectly. Either yes, you interest me, or no, there's no hope. She will find a way to convey it, and if you yourself present her with such a chance on a silver platter, she will definitely take advantage of it. The main thing is to do it and not be afraid of the answer. At least you will know for sure. We are moving on to the second strategy, and this is my favorite technique for checking for affection. I call it the most feminine one. Why? Because it's the most, I don't want to say insidious, but I'll say it as it is. The essence is to make her reveal her interest in you in such a way that she herself doesn't even realize it. Understand? You will play on her emotions, provoke her, hit where there will definitely be a reaction. And this reaction will be absolutely spontaneous and natural. This is where you will understand everything 100%. How to get her to reveal herself. For example, you can start telling some story. Tell just a little bit, literally a couple of words. Stop and say, "Oh no, you're unlikely to be interested in this. Let's move on," and see what happens next. If she turns on the puppy dog eyes and starts with, "Oh no, come on," Keep going. I'm interested to know what happened next. That's a great sign. If she wants to know what happens next, if she's ready to listen to you all night, she definitely likes you, so play a little suspense. It's a cool way to make her want more without overdoing it, pushing sensitive buttons or taking too many risks. But if you are not interesting to her and you say, I won't tell, it's boring, she will answer, well, as you say. If she doesn't insist, there's no interest. But if she demands continuation, interest is evident. The next important point, which I often talk about, women need to receive confirmation of their significance from men. In the arsenal of female flirtation, there is one key technique which consists not in direct seduction, but in being attractive, and to be attractive she will try to please you, to please men in general if she doesn't yet know your tastes, or to please you specifically if she already knows them. In short, she will try to adapt to your preferences so that you look at her with admiration. What does this look like in practice? Let's say, during a conversation, you casually throw in, I can't stand jealous women. What will she reply? Oh no, I'm not jealous at all. I can't stand them either. It's really not my thing. What is she doing at this moment? She's adjusting to your tastes. She's in a hurry to reassure you. I'm not like that. You don't like that. Great, because I'm precisely not like that. Or conversely, you say, I still think a girl should be feminine. She'll immediately pick up on it. Yes, I completely agree. I try to be feminine myself every day. At the same time, she'll try not to overdo it, so as not to seem unnatural. Well, I don't dress up like I'm going to a ball every day, but I believe that feeling like a girl is important, at the very least, and all that. The strategy is the same. It will automatically seek your approval and adapt to what you like. Play with it, and you'll see. It works flawlessly. Here we are dealing with an unconscious reaction. It simply doesn't have time to think or guess whether you are testing it now or not. It will fall into this trap on pure emotion, because we are hitting its emotional triggers. The third strategy and way to provoke signs of affection is to play a little provocation. Of course, not all provocations are the same. We are not here to behave like boors or cross personal boundaries. This is about a situation where you want to understand. Is she comfortable around you? Is she comfortable with your physical proximity, considering that a certain tension must inevitably arise between you? This is exactly the tension we are aiming for. We want her to be comfortable, but not so comfortable that she perceives you as just a friend when there is no tension at all. This is what we will be checking. Some call it a compatibility test, others a compliance test, or a convergence test. Whatever you call it, the essence is to dare to take small steps and gestures that show how comfortable she is in your company and whether she accepts the boundaries you set, the boundaries of flirting and mutual attraction. If you move gradually and act subtly, we move on to methods of soft approach. For example, eye contact. Moreover, a long, confident gaze directly into the eyes. Is it easy for her to hold your gaze for a few seconds before looking away, or perhaps blushing with embarrassment? What energy do you feel when she looks you straight in the eye? Do you feel a slight panic happening inside her, that thoughts are swirling in her head at that moment? Or on the contrary, do you realize that she doesn't care at all? She calmly holds your gaze, but it's empty. Pay attention to all these nuances. I often repeat, even if it's not yet physical touch, a long gaze is a very deep, intimate, and powerful thing. Therefore, for me, eye contact is already the first step towards physical intimacy. The second step is to check if she is comfortable in your presence as the distance closes. How will she react if you sit a little closer to her? If you lean towards her during a conversation, reducing the distance, how will she react if, while gesturing animatedly, you seem to accidentally touch her arm? Will she pull away, pretend not to notice at all, or look at you with a silent question? Did he do that on purpose or by accident? At this stage, our goal is not so much to create mystery, that's already an advanced technique, but simply to gauge her comfort level around you. For example, if you're on a date at a restaurant or bar, is she willing to cross personal boundaries and share food with you? Perhaps you'll order one shared appetizer plate for the two of you, or maybe you each have your own dish. But will she agree to try something from your plate? Will she offer a bite from hers? Are you willing to share drinks? And does she have any issues with taking a sip from your glass? Even considering all these stories about viruses? In general, see how naturally and relaxed she feels with you. And finally, as you've already guessed, the last level is open physical contact. How does she react to your touch? To start, it can be contact under some logical pretext. For example, you touch the fabric of her jacket and say, "Aren't you hot in long sleeves? The sun is really beating down." Or the opposite, "Aren't you cold? This sweater seems so thin." The idea is clear. You use a pretext to touch her. At this moment, the girl, who, I repeat, is not stupid at all, perfectly understands what exactly you are doing and what is on your mind. Therefore, her reaction will be very telling and thoughtful. She will do this to send you a specific signal. This is precisely why we call it a test. She will understand that you've cast your line, as we discussed in the first point, and will respond in one of three ways. Either she will pull away, making it clear that the touch is inappropriate, meaning there's no interest, or she will remain seated without reacting, something like, "I'll wait and see what happens. I haven't decided yet." Or she will show that she likes this contact. She will look up at you, and the physical contact will coincide with the visual one. Believe me, her reaction is never random. Her reaction is not accidental. It's deliberate. You see, as soon as she notices you taking a step towards her to test the waters, her response will definitely be telling. All you have to do is read between the lines. That's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope these tips were helpful. See you soon.